Yep.
Which means that they haven't faced the quote-unquote hardest teams yet, which is Undying, Quincy Crew. So they have to beat both. Then Quincy Crew plays Undying later today. One of them will lose, and that will create a potential tiebreak situation for EG to actually make it to the major. But if they lose any other series, Cinderin, it's not 100% over, but it's 99%, which you know as a robot is very high.
It's very close to 100 at least. I know that much.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Know,
great analysis as always.
So I was looking at this draft and everything the panel was saying, and I was just thinking, why not just put the PL mid against Bat? Like, is that not what 4 Zoomers are going to do here, and then put Gunner safe lane on the Kunkka? I think you want PL to lane against Bat and just give Kunkka the safe lane against DP. I think Bat will fare fine against Kunkka or PL, but I think PL will have a better time than Kunkka will. You're going to be stifled a little bit on movement early on because you have lower levels on Kunkka, but I think you can still compensate for it. We're going to see what they do, though. Immediate fight here on the top rune. Missile connect.
Indeed.
3 for 1 for
4 Zoomers get 3 out of 4 bounty runes. They are winning the game right now.
3 runers.
Indeed.
Yes, that was absolutely terrible.
It looks like Costa will be going. I just ignore all your bad jokes just to give you... I feel like that helps you more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so they will just
be in a safe lane, so you will not be getting your wish.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if I'm a little bit outdated in my thinking here. If it's just too weak to put the PL mid against Bat. It's a classic thing that teams used to do when the meta and the flow of the game was different. Maybe Kunkka is fine because of the water runes and everything, and he's still going to get his. I do feel like he should lose the lane here, Gunner, over time, whereas PL would be a lot safer. But perhaps the verdict here from 4 Zoomers is we need levels on Kunkka. Like, we need to make sure he has a good game and that he can make moves because the rest of our lineup is relatively slow. But you can already tell Gunner is not having very much fun mid here, but 8 sticky charges has to run back to tower. It'll reset though. It'll be fine in the start. Every hero's fine in this bad level 1.
EG did start with the tri-lane top to start this game as Jarek's trying to kill a courier, but not gonna happen. Actually looks a lot like that Forge Spirit from last game, by the way. Not to continue with that terrible storyline, but it will end up being dual lanes, a 2-1-2 as we're used to seeing. Arteezy, Wraith King with Jerax, Weaver support versus the Doom IO combo, which sounds kind of scary.
I like this lane a lot for Doom IO if Z-Freak finds the right creep. I think if he finds Ice Armor or Chain Lightning, their lane is quite a lot stronger actually than what EG brings to the table. EG's lane is almost purely physical, so the Ice Armor is insane value, of course. But the thing about the Chain Lightning as well, when you're laning with Io, you get a lot more just passive mana regen from the tether all the time, so Z-Freak would be able to spam it quite a bit more. Doesn't seem like he is even looking for a creep, just that he gets his level 2 now. It is a Vul camp, which is terrible. There's golems to the left.
Yep, that's unfortunate.
Golems are okay, but it's not the best.
Ish. Jerax gets the kill on the courier. So Z-Freak will be without his stick for a little bit now. All right, while we wait for creeps to spawn, I mean, this is very exciting stuff, waiting for these neutrals to spawn for Z-Freak, as he will be taking the Mud Golem.
What you saw there is called settling. He walked through the entire jungle and he was like, screw it, I'll take a Golem then if that's all I can get. Which it was, because the other camp was also a Golem.
Yeah, if you had to stick with the Bull, then that's when you get really tricky. As Husky top lane, taking a lot of damage, has the Rocket Barrage going off, but the Spirit Siphon with a couple right clicks will secure first blood for MSS.
This is a pretty strong lane, DP Earth Spirit, especially when they hit level 3. Getting either 2 points in Swarm or Siphon, and Earth Spirit unlocking a huge part of his kit with that level 3. Generally don't see them skill Silence, but just the second value point in either of the other 2 spells really makes a big difference. So I would imagine that MSS and Crit will continue trying to find kills on Gyro. PL will be tough to crack, but you can at least kill the support and make sure they still find good farm. Mid lane, Gunner is similar to last game. He's off to a fine start. This looks like this is a tie for now. In my opinion, the lane should be getting really difficult for Kunkka soon. Most heroes do okay against Bat the first few levels, and then when Bat hits level 5 or sometimes level 6 can really just force you to not even really lane anymore, just from the sheer threat of killing you.
Yeah, the good news is that Kunkka is a hero that can go into the jungle a little bit, taking out some stacks. Jerax getting really low in the bot lane, but we'll Shikuchi to safety, and we'll Suicide to The other Mud Golem, the one that was not chosen by Z-Freak, probably feels very sad that his brother-in-arms is now inside the belly of this demon. Wait, is he a demon or is he just literally the devil? I think he's just the devil, isn't he?
What's worse?
Well, the devil.
I know what's the
boss
coolest
of
story.
demons. Well, the coolest story is the demon, because at least there's some interesting aspect to it. Devil is just very black and white, it feels like. Mostly black, of course, in this case.
I feel like it's a pretty good story to be eaten by the devil. I don't know.
Well, you'd know better than me, I guess. MSS top lane.
I have no idea what that means.
Lane, Cinderin, just don't listen to any.
Jarek
See, I don't
does
acknowledge
not
your bad
have
joke,
Shakuchi
you
yet.
acknowledge mine.
He is dying.
Yep, now he does, but he's dead. It's in the fountain. So
That is
going the way.
very ungood, because he literally just TP'd down to this lane, so I think Arteezy is going to be struggling. He'll get a couple of the range creeps here while it's in the tower, but he needs to be careful with not getting dove once Doom gets Scorched Earth again. They do have Glyph to accompany them under the tower with the wave. Arteezy's going to just try to bully them a little bit here and make them think twice about it. With the, obviously, the Wraithfire Blast forcing the skeletons onto Z-Freak will make them back off and ensure him some CS, so nicely done. Close to Bile.
Top lane in the meantime, Costa Bile. Spirit Siphon applied. The homing missile from Hussey's going to keep him at bay. So talk to me about Death Prophet offlane these days. How strong is it?
I'm not sure. I see it played in some games. I think it's very matchup specific. Lasso, yeah. That was bound to happen.
Yikes.
Crit showed up. I feel like he wasn't necessary for that, but he did anyway. Made a movement there into mid. But yeah, Kunkka is very exposed against Bedrider and will get punished in that situation. Well, for me, this is a decent DP game. You know, you're playing against Doom. It's a classic counter. You make sure you get your spells off before you get Doom, then you're not a really appealing target. You're good against Kunkka because you have good sustained damage over time. Oh, that's a dead Husky Gyro.
Getting chased top lane.
Oh, that's a neutral.
Oh, neutral creeps. All right, Vul Assassins showing their worth. They do about 10 damage a pop, Cinder, and I think it's piercing, so it's even less. Unless they change that. I think it's still piercing.
They do enough.
Yeah, apparently.
That's
they
all
actually
that
have to help with a Kobold Foreman. An imposter in the mix here. What is he doing in there?
Got promoted.
Lovely guy. I guess so.
From the worst neutral camp to the second worst neutral. Oh.
He did get buffed recently. Arteezy's in a lot of trouble. Bot lane, getting chased. TP's coming in from Batrider, but he's going to be resigned to his own death. Gets one right click for the road as Abed. Looking for Moo. TP out from Moo. Oh. Will not be successful.
Good try.
Now he has to make the walk of shame. That was super close, though.
It was a very good idea from Moo. If he had got that idea a little bit earlier and gone south instead of east, I think the distance between him and Bat would have been enough to actually get out with that TP, but just barely able to connect in time there. Abed with a good rotation for a punish, but I still think if you're 4-Zoomers, you're not too unhappy about that. You kill Arteezy, you get your Doom out of there. The downside, of course, being that both heroes TP'd away. If Io had just died, I would call that a wash. But with Io also TPing, that's actually quite a bit of experience lost. So I think I might have to change my mind on that one. Call it an EG win.
Up top lane, Costa Bile gets initiated on by Crit, and he's just going to TP out to safety. TP coming in from Gunner this time.
Okay.
Gets the X, has the boat to follow onto Crit. But MSS is in the vicinity. Reinforcements on the way as well. See if they can find this kill as MSS trying to keep Gunner a little bit back here, but he's going to get the brunt of the damage now. So instead of a support kill, they are going to get a position 3 Death Prophet. 4-Zoomers very happy with this exchange.
MSS looked very happy. I don't know why, but if he's having fun, that's
He's
great.
used to playing 4.
He's like, wow, I have so much gold. Now he doesn't look so happy anymore. Maybe it's kicked in that he died. Oh, he can hear us, it almost looks like. Okay, well.
That's a problem.
Husky gonna get spotted out by Jerax here, and he is dying very shortly.
Yep. Has absolutely no TP.
We'll try to die to Roche, I
go
guess.
for the Roche deny. Can it be 2 denies in one game? One to the Vuls? No. Roshan will not get his...
Is there anything more distracting for Roshan than having a Scarab crawling up his leg? He just prioritizes that over everything else for 20 seconds. It will literally be anything in his perimeter.
I feel like that humanizes Roche more than anything. I mean, what is more terrifying than a beetle crawling on anybody? That's the worst nightmare I can think of, Cinderin, other than talking to you every day.
All right, I'll give you some perspective. Let's say there's a beetle crawling on me, and there's a literal bear with its claws out running at me and starting to attack me. I think I would run away from the bear instead of starting to scratch off the bug. But, you know, people have different priorities and different things they're scared of. I would probably run from the bear. But that means I will survive and you will die, and that's Darwinism at its finest. So it makes a lot of sense. Actually, the right thing to do is to play dead.
If you run away from a bear, you're more likely to get attacked.
Play dead. I corrected myself, and I knew you would know this because you're American. It's part of your education to learn about grizzlies in 2nd grade.
Maybe it was 3rd.
No.
I don't know.
Well,
tough to say.
You've always been a little slower.
Either way, back to the game and back to Cinder insulting me for no apparent reason. I'm just trying to catch this game, and you just keep talking shit somehow. Thank you. Abed is level 9 right now. Has the boost of travel.
Chon's gonna
he's gonna get destroyed here, it looks like. Shukuchi is up, but not gonna save him this time. The move still yet to use that relocate. See if they can find something with that. As Husky gets the homing missile off with a couple rocket barrage procs, but oh, it is gonna set something up. Homing missile connects, and here comes the relocate with Gunner, but he gets silenced immediately from MSS, who pops that exorcism. Moo might be in some trouble here, Cinderin. Looks like Crit's gonna fall first to start things off, but it will be a trade. And EG will be happy with that as Gunner actually gets pushed away by Abed. And that'll break things up, but likely the tier 1 tower is next in EG's favor.
Yeah, they kind of wanted to use the EXO up here anyway, so this is just added benefit that he ends up getting an IO kill. And like you said, that tower is gone. Question is what 4 Zoomers can get in the meantime. So they have Costa Bile pushing bottom with Siege Crate Wave coming in. JRX is already looking to potentially cut the next wave here, or, well, for now he's just farming the hard camp and gonna get run at by Costa Bile. He doesn't have Shukuchi just yet. He will be fine. Okay. Yep, I have a long vocal range. Did you know?
That was falsetto, beautifully done. Gunner in the top lane, though, gets lassoed with MSS's help with that Spirit Siphon. Gonna blow up Gunner, no chance to get out. Husky, in the meantime, getting burned down by Abed. So EG starting to take a little bit of control now.
Nice deny.
They're falling a little bit behind, but yep, nice deny from Moo.
He's gonna die for it,
pay the ultimate price.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is, again, position 3 IO. This is not a support sacrificing his life. It's like Arteezy will take that for the road. But it will be a trade of, at the very least, a tier 1 bottom.
I still think EG would be very, very happy with that. They got so much more than they came for. Costa Bile.
Oh my god!
He didn't even TP to Fountain. He TP to the tower. He was like, I'm going to go farm, guys. I'm fine.
That is so random, actually.
Well, it's efficiency. He's farming. He's farming all right. Is that salve? No, it's not. Well, he might actually have to go back anyway now. But
IO will be up. I'm sure he's making his way over soon.
But yeah, that previous move top, right? EG already were getting the tower, and then 4 Zoomers tried to take a fight and got punished and lost extras there, so really Abed taking charge in this game on the Batrider. X-Mark? Oh, he could have bit over too much here.
Abed is gonna get connected on and surrounded and destroyed, but it did take essentially 5 heroes in the mid lane for 4 Zoomers to accomplish this. Into the tier 1 tower they go. Z-Freak looking for more. He still has the Mud Golem creep devoured. Doesn't want the Wild Wing, although he can't even eat that yet with only level 1 Devour anyway.
Shouldn't underestimate the guy in the frame right now, Z-Freak, on the Doom with 4 levels in Scorched Earth. As a support Doom, I think the hero gets a lot stronger when you combine it with IO. You know, there was a phase when support Doom was played a lot. Okay, that's a dead Husky again. We'll probably end up losing the mid tower here actually if 4 Zoomers aren't quick to rotate. But yeah, I have my eyes on Doom for now because I think Z-Freak has a really important role to play here, being tethered up by the IO as a position 4 Doom. Really needs to get in there and deal the damage under Ghost Ship. But as long as EG are the ones making the first move, counterplaying is a lot harder. You'd ideally like to take the initiative with X-Mark. Kind of similar to last game, they lose this mid tower really quickly, Zoomers. It's better than last time, but 13 minutes. And that was not Exorcism taking the tower, by the way. It was flat out just heroes hitting it. Has to be a little bit concerning.
Talk to me about this. So last game, yeah, you brought up the tower discrepancy from last game and all that good stuff, but They were down by like 3K around this time as crit.
That's true.
Looks like he's not going to get hit by the torrent. But they do... Okay, so this is my question, though. Z-Freak is playing Doom this time, but it is position 4, level 1 Devour. Doesn't really feel like... Because usually we look at this, like if they have a gold lead, it's like, okay, this is actually an even game.
Yeah.
It's just like the mini Alchemist effect.
I don't think we should really consider the Doom factor much at all. So you're right, like from a strict gold perspective, it's looking better than last game for Zoomers, but I don't know if the matchup is as good as last time around, except the PL. And, well, Costabile is doing pretty fine. It's getting a 1430 defusal, which is decent. But yeah, for now, EG's lineup looks kind of formidable, especially when Abid's BKB comes out. I would be worried for 4Zoomer's ability to fight him for quite a while. That's something their lineup doesn't deal with very well. It's single target physical damage. PL needs a lot of time before he becomes a threat to a BKB bat. And it also makes Doom's like power spike that he has in these minutes fall off drastically because he can't fight into a Bat Rider. So it has to be careful. And that's a huge timing for EG to wait for. X mark. They find Jerax. Well, it will be a pick.
Jerax can't use anything to get out of that. Another freebie for 4Zoomers here. And I mean, for Costabile, is there a time where you want to fight with PL? Obviously, you talked about the defusal. That's a huge power spike, but you go for that Manta first before you're ready?
I think so. Oh, Flame Break's gonna miss. He's
bottom
doomed.
lane. We have Lasso, but Doom is going to be the counter.
He's stoned.
The Munchholm stun from Z-Freak, but Abid is so freaking fast right now. His move getting initiated on. Crit's going to miss his stun, but MSS is in the vicinity. And they'll be able to clean up that one very easily. And you can see Abed lives throughout that Doom. That's a big cooldown down. Cooldown down.
Yep.
Cooldown 2. There's no good way to say that, actually. It just sounds awful.
It's a very big cooldown. Yes. Very big cooldown used.
Okay. That's good English. Thank you. Coming from the guy that learned English as a second language. Appreciate that tip.
You're welcome. Mid tower. Look, the siege creep is even prioritizing the scarabs. It's nothing sacred. They literally prioritizing the scarab over the tower. Oh, Jerax, not again.
Yeah, Torrent connects. Does have time lapse. We'll use it, get the full HP. Shikuchi's away.
Are they gonna dive this?
Miss the will.
Okay.
Shikuchi's up again. He's gonna get away, I think. Unless they have another... There's no way.
Okay, now they give up. That was looking to be very dodgy to go that deep just for a 5, but...
Right.
They do give up eventually with the chase.
Gunner going for the efficiency play, has the Echo Saber right now, so we'll be taking it apart for the BKB.
Do you like that?
Not really, but...
I'm
I mean,
not
what do you
sold
build
on this
later?
at all.
Do you go Orchid?
BKB Orchid, and then you go Saber first? Maybe, yeah, maybe that's what you do.
I mean, if he's going Orchid, it makes sense, but...
If he's going Orchid, I think he should buy Orchid straight away, right? Like, if you want the Orchid, you want it now, before the BKBs and Lotus Orbs start coming out. That's a timing item. So, I'm not very sold on this build. I haven't seen it too much, I have to admit, but I don't think you get that much farming efficiency out of Saber as Kunkka compared to other heroes. But yeah. It's interesting at least to see something different. I think this is the first Kunkka player I've seen buy this. Maybe it's just me being unaware, and this is common, but it doesn't seem too common to me.
I haven't seen it either, Cinder. That makes 2 of us. That could be an idiotic statement.
Grabbed Deso. So going for pretty standard Wraith King build nowadays, Armlet Deso. The panel were discussing whether Radiance was on the menu. I would say it is not. If you want Radiance, you have to buy it straight away after the Armlet. So RTs will not fall into that trap, if you want to call it that.
Here comes the mana burn. He has to be a little bit careful here. Now, turn around from Crit, gets off the Magnetize. The boat connects onto Arteezy. Takes the Infernal Blade as well. Not sure if he can be saved by his teammates, but here comes the call down as well. Not going to clip Arteezy. He's just going to get some right clicks off on the Illusion, try to heal up a bit. Crit will finally fall. That's the first to die in this engagement. But at the very least for EG, Arteezy lives.
They actually get him out of there because the Ghost Ship missed. I think he might have been silenced by Crit. I think Crit sacrificed himself to combo break the Kunkka. And well worth it. Arteezy, honestly, just out of position there. You're playing against Diffusal. Standing that close to the mid-tier 2 without massive team backup is very dangerous and almost got punished. But all the save from Crit will keep him alive, get him out of there, and not waste his ulti either. I think you're going to see it here. So Kunkka's going to go for the X-Torrent boat here. Is Crit getting anything? Yeah, there's the silence. So just barely mistiming. And this is the amount of damage they're missing in the end. Keep in mind, Arteezy playing against PL without Magic Stick. Very greedy, in my opinion, not to have at least some sort of mana regain here for the chance at getting your ult off.
That's very odd.
That is pretty uncharacteristic, I think. I'd say that it's almost a gimme on Wraith King every game to have a stick, even if you're not against mana burn, just for the utility it gives you. It's 200 gold. It allows you to sometimes use
EG smoking up. They find Gunnar. There's a Wraith Fire Blast to start off this fight. He gets lassoed. He gets brought down.
Okay.
And 4 Zoomers have to get the hell out. But this could open up Roche now that Exorcism's popped.
Yeah, arguably slight overkill, but they're definitely going to go there with this, or that wouldn't have been worth it. And they will indeed transition in here. Deso on, the Swarm on. Do they have a Medallion on Weaver? They do. This is going to be a very, very quick Roche, and not really anything Zoomers can do about it without their Kunkka. It's just not possible. So this will be claimed. Who do you give the Aegis to, do you think? Arteezy or Abed? Well, since Abed is teleporting away, it's probably not him.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, that could have been interesting, but kind of got spoiled.
Yeah, in our last cast, we're not a huge fan of Abed. Yeah, there's a relocate coming, but it's not going to end up coming to fruition. We talked about last cast, and I think we agreed that Wraith King, not the greatest Aegis carrier before you can start hitting buildings, but I think because there's mana burn and he doesn't have his shard yet, that he's going to need the Aegis most likely.
Yeah, it's decent. It is decent, and I think at this time in the game, like let's say this Aegis was 5 minutes earlier, I think it would have been better on Bat. But at this time, you're looking to siege tier 2s, you're looking to maybe even think about high ground with DP, and you don't want to give the Aegis to DP, right? So your options are arguably Wraith King or Bat, and then it's fine on Wraith, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Arteezy, he might need it now.
Yeah, he's going to get boated. Just will right-click Z-Frig, already at half HP. That's going to be his first life. Has the mana for it, so he has 2 more to work with. All down coming down, but Abed with the Firefly on the side. He gets doomed, but he's going to be able to run away easily. Gunnar pops his BKB. Not really doing too much at the moment, though. His Wraith King, Arteezy, just manning up against Costabile. Again, still has the Aegis to work with. Our Husky gets critted down from afar. And now Z-Freak has his newly picked up BKB, just has to run. But in the meantime, Costabile getting chased by the rest of the supports from EG. And EG just cleaning up this fight very easily. They only lose 1. Abed did fall, despite being so freaking quick.
Well, if they get that kind of fight, the Aegis on Wraith King is the dream, to be honest. So, you know, that worked out great for them. Specifically because Arteezy was kind of baiting himself there, and they thought, okay, we can get him 2 if not 3 times, but that extra life gave him the safety that they didn't even go for the second kill. See, he looks totally isolated, and he is isolated. His team is like 10 to 15 seconds away, but the first kill takes this long. Now he's gonna die once, and the second kill, which they would, under normal circumstances, they would kill him again right now. But look at them just ignoring him, and he's dealing insane amounts of damage throughout this fight. Now finally PL's gonna connect and get crit once, has to back off. They finally do get the Bat, like you said, over on the left side, but everything expended for that 1 kill. And the Aegis wasn't even used. It was only his ult, so he still has it now. Well, that worked out better than...
2.5 minutes to go. He now has a Blink Dagger and Shard, so Mana Burn will not have the same effect anymore on him. I would say the next Power Spike, obviously, just 2 more levels so that his ult is super low cooldown.
Yeah, I wonder what his next item is.
On the other side, Costabile still not finishing Manta yet at 23 minutes.
Yeah, he's
definitely would have hoped for him to have better farm right now.
You want your PL to have 10 CS per minute right now, and he's sitting at 183, so well behind par. 30 to 40 more CS right now would be considered good, at least, so definitely not keeping up with the pace that he would like to see himself in this game. Has been slowed down, has chosen to take some fights, of course, and that does cost you farm. Husky.
Yep, he's dead. If he gets found, he's just done. Yep. Jerax is going to get stunned up, but Zoomers are on the retreat right now. Nice stun from afar from Crit. Well done, his move. Going to get focused completely. Boat's going to come in as well. That is going to be a dead IO to start things out. Pops the mech, lives a little bit longer, but it's not to be. Is now Gunnar forced to use his BKB, but he's completely surrounded. I think Aegir might just find yet another kill to work with here. Not going to be able to get blocked though. Crit completely out of mana. Pops the wand. There's the flame break. Down goes Gunnar. The last crit from Arteezy. 3 dead. EG still have the Aegis. They can just continue on with these building kills.
Yep, this bomb tier 1 is definitely gone. DP ulti has a quarter left on it, so that will do. And how long do they have left on the Aegis? 1 minute. I think Arteezy might just try to squeeze every advantage he can out of this and just keep pushing bot tower, knowing that they have to kill him 3 times. And as I say that, he's of course immediately going to leave that lane and go jungle. Weaver is not getting doomed. They don't want to.
Hoof Stomp missed, sadly, for Z-Freak. That was the setup they needed. Oh, he might still get doomed, though. Do they want to doom him? That's real question.
It really doesn't want to doom the Weaver.
Yeah.
And he's done a good job dooming the Bat, because I honestly think that's the best target he has in these fights, is to... You either want to doom Bat or you want to doom DP instantly, so the Siphons aren't running. Those are your 2 options. Dooming Wraith King is a disaster, so... Yeah, I think Z-Freak's dooms have been fine. They just haven't really connected it very well with the X marks and finding PL enough presence in the fight. He is, of course, like we talked about, quite far behind par on net worth, and you know, if your PL was on par with what you would want to see right now, you'd be 2 minutes away from, say, a Scotty or a Hart, and then suddenly this game could look very, very different. But EG have built themselves a decent distance now. Yep, that's good IO.
Finding a kill on Moo. And I don't know if it's because of the hero matchups or just really good item. I mean, the itemization is kind of standard, maybe a little bit unusual for MSS on the offlane Death Prophet, but you're talking about Doom targets, right? Obviously, you're going to try to, at this stage, not Doom a support. Wraith King is literally useless to Doom. Then you have the Bat Rider, DP. Both have Boots of Travel, and Death Prophet has Yules.
I can see him dooming Earth Spirit as well. I don't think dooming Earth would be that bad. Crit is doing so much work for EG in this game, controlling fights. It's a huge damage loss for EG as well to get him doomed. He's getting magnetized off every fight on like 3 or 4 heroes. That's one of the things that makes Earth Spirit so good against IO is, first of all, he has ways of canceling relocate, but secondly, IO comps tend to like group up a little bit, and that means the Magnetize can find multiple targets. You get chain silence on more heroes. Obviously results in a major damage increase.
Again, a lot of this feels like it's on Jerax constantly. I mean, he's died a bunch, but again, position 5.
It's such an inconsequential
so he won't
death.
Be sweating it.
It just doesn't matter. He got the D ward. There's no Roche. All the waves are pushed into Zoomers, so they literally just get that kill bounty and no collateral. He's basically worth a little bit more than a creep wave at this point, so it's not that big of a deal at all to have him die.
So EG sitting on a 5K lead right now as MSS. He's going to be spotted out. Oh, Arteezy jumps right in, gets the stun off onto Z-Freak. Costabile trying to focus on MSS for now. Torrent's going to connect onto Arteezy in the meantime. There's the Exorcism used just at the right moment, but he's getting focused. MSS looks to be dropping. Indeed, he does. Does have buyback, but no ult to work with. Costabile up to his BKB. That's Abed's, actually. They're chasing Crit now completely out of mana. Good focusing from 4 Zoomers. Does cost them the gyro buyback, but they'll take this, I think.
A failed lasso.
Onto Arteezy, but Costabile gets the doppelganger off, gets healed, and brought to safety thanks to Moo. And there's the stun. That's the shard from Moo coming to fruition. But that's just the first life for Arteezy. Call down's going to connect, and this is going to be a dieback onto MSS. Uses the Yules. It looks like he's going to die shortly after. Arteezy in the meantime.
Oh my god.
It's off the BKB TP. 4 Zoomers. What a fight. They bring this back to essentially even.
That was absolutely huge for them. Everything in that fight just went right. They get, and you know what's ironic? They doomed Wraith King. That actually was their best fight in the game. So a couple of things that they get really right there. First of all, DP getting really focus fired by PL, putting very good use the mana burn onto the Earth Spirit, so he gets removed from the fight as well, gets out of mana. Oh, Weaver. Oh, Jerax will get out this time, I think. But most importantly, Abed lassoed a PL illusion. He didn't get the right one, and that was the nail in the coffin there, because they could have killed PL there for sure, but selected it wrong in the midst of the chaos. It's bound to happen when you're playing bad against PL. If you're going for it, sometimes you're going to click wrong or guess wrong. But that was big, because Costabile went on to survive, get tethered, mech'd, and relocated out, and find 2 or 3 additional kills in the end, and all of that is a missed lasso. So huge for 4 Zoomers. Look at that graph swing. Holy, that is something. That's a 25% win probability change in 2 minutes. They're just full on back in the game. Heart for PL.
One fight.
Yep.
Good, clean stuff, and we saw the...
You're going to see it here.
From Arteezy getting stunned.
So great focus fire first. They get MSS. He buys back, right? Yeah, he buys back and comes back in. The Doom is currently sitting on Arteezy, but keep your eyes on Bat right here. Abed is doing everything he can to find the right PL, and there, he ends up lassoing an illusion. The real Costabile is still hitting. Immediate doppelganger, IO mech tether, relocate out, and he's full HP. And then Arteezy blinks in to try to put pressure, immediately gets tether stunned, wasn't expecting the shard, and just has Mu isolated by homing missile, and the fight just cleans itself up. So huge, huge loss for EG. I would honestly say with that fight, 4 Zoomers are ahead in the game. Whatever the win graph says, it's like 50-50, but you've unlocked PL in a game that he was starving in. He's suddenly starting to look at where he wants to be.
Oh, another boat. There's the Orchid as well. Jerax looks... we'll see if the burn gets him.
Fine.
He does have time lapse, but not able to get it off. Again, the tether stun working out really well for 4 Zoomers. And we should mention that this has forced I mean, he's probably going to do this anyway, but Arteezy now working towards a Mjolnir, so the anti-PL type itemization.
Yeah.
Because Costabile is starting to be an issue. He has the finished heart now after that last fight.
Using the active on Mjolnir is going to be pretty important here. It looks like Death Prophet is not going to go BKB at all. MSS has gone Ghost Scepter and is buying armor. He's going to finish Shiva's Guard. So getting the... why can I never remember the name of the active of that Mjolnir? Is it called Static Field? You know this, Shannon. You know everything.
Question?
You know everything. Trivia time!
I'm going to say Static Charge.
Static Charge, you're right. I haven't even found the item, but I think you're right.
I made that up, so
why can't
I'm
I
right,
find
I'm a genius.
I literally can't find it. Static Charge. Good job.
God, I'm good.
Static
God!
Charge. Did I say Static Field?
Off.
That's a Zeus spell. I know that.
Yeah, that's true. You are an idiot.
I'm
anyway.
old.
Oh, Z-Freak.
Okay.
Gonna get initiated by Arteezy. This will be a big kill to start things out, but there's Mu with the heals. It's not gonna matter though. Z-Freak dies right off the bat. Abed pops the BKB, focusing on Mu now, but Gunnar in the midst of things, but 2 of his teammates have already died. So he's kind of just stuck in no man's land. Gets lassoed and just getting right-clicked into oblivion. MSS super healthy with the exorcism still flowing. 4 dead just like that, and Roshan pops out of the Roche pit just to remind EG that he is up and ready to be taken out. Kill me, please.
They will oblige. Really important wording there from Jerax. They have the Ops and Sentry seeing Doom standing there in Viz, and they just immediately identify that that is a good go. They go on him. IO uses everything defensive to try to keep the Doom alive, and it doesn't matter. Z-Freak still ends up dying. No armor item on the Doom is definitely costly right now. If he could just get himself a plate mail, that would make a huge difference for a situation like that, but the gold just isn't there yet, and they get a huge win here. That's like 6k gold swing. I like this graph, you know? It's kind of like where we started. It's like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And the viewers don't even get to see it.
And now that they are going high ground, potentially, I think they do have the tools to do so.
It is possible.
Shard is picked up by Crit, by the way. So he's going to have the 4 extra stone remnants, which is a great quality of life, and you'll get the little extra vision from them now. So not that Roche has been an issue for them, but that is obviously the most handy place to have one. Or just in the enemy base. I mean, the fact that you can't do anything about the stone remnants and they give vision is kind of crazy.
It's a very good shard.
Put it high ground. Oh, TP's top, though. Looks like 4 Zoomers want to defend this tier 2. They're going to take their outpost.
Close.
But will not find any kills.
Costabile is closing in on Scotty, 2 minutes away at this point. Will, of course, be a very, very big pickup, but speaking of big pickups, almost have Ags on Jerax's Weaver. That is enormous against the Dire lineup. They don't have really heavy burst, so getting off time-lapse is very reliable. There's no very worrying silences for him either that could just catch him off guard, except the Kunkka Orchid, so Gunnar needs to really be on top of the Weaver with that. And Arteezy's Mjolnir is almost complete, like we talked about. So really, really big timings coming in for EG. Shivas on DP is complete now. Probably going to put Static Charge on him. Refresher for Abed. All the timings are actually lining up. They're getting like 4 premier items within the next minute on Evil Geniuses, and that should perhaps open up high ground for them.
Yeah, they're definitely looking quite good. There's the Ags like you talked about, and there's a Refresher.
DP just got Shivas, Wraith King. Yeah, they got all the items. It's go time.
If Jerax gets X like he has been, I mean, he's been getting caught out, so in team fights that hasn't really been an issue, right? It's been like in between the rest of the game. But that is one way to control the Weaver, as he will be going for Shard, actually. That is very... Is that I don't think he's going to buy that, right?
On
That's
Weaver?
more of a right click. Yeah.
I guess
I guess
nice.
it reveals invis.
The reveal can be nice. They do have a Glimmer Cape on Gyro.
Okay.
It's okay, I think. It's either that or you get Lens, right? I would think.
Yeah.
For the save.
Relocate top just to get some farm in for Costa Bile, who, like you said, is closing in on that Scotty. Should be able to finish you here.
He has the money for it.
Pretty much. And the courier is just waiting. But in the meantime, Gunner, who X'd himself, he's going to get Yules, which means he's back in place. He pops his BKB
real rough.
and dies. He does have buyback, but without the BKB, this is going to be big trouble. As EG looking to open up. Look at that long-ass lasso range with that Aether Lens. They're finding Husky. That's the second death very quickly.
And they have Refresher.
They has the Scotty. Yep, that's true. Does have the Refresher ready to go. They might have to give up this Rax at minimum. EG can go for a second. They cannot get top, though, because of the tier 2 still standing. It looks like Abed's just going to TP to the wave and push it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they're going to push out bottom with Bat, and then they're going to all converge towards top, get the tier 2 there, and maybe go for another high ground attempt. How long have they left on Aegis? 1 minute 10, so that's probably not coming into play in this push. But I don't think necessarily that it should dissuade EG from going anyway. If they have the next Exorcism in 90 seconds, you just keep controlling this area, and when all your spells are up again, double Bat Rider ulti and Exo, you just go for that high ground. Go for the throat. Force Rumors are going to be really hard-pressed to take this fight. Like, you need a situation like previously where PL isolates and kills a key target, but it's just so difficult against Weaver Ags. It's such a game changer that Jerax has grabbed this now. It's almost eliminating the easy ways for Zoomers to win a fight. Right now it feels like they have to find a target and isolate it. They need to control Weaver with an Orchid or Doom. And there's like a subset of heroes they can even go on to begin with. Like, killing DP is really hard now. She has Ghost, Shiva, and Yules. Wraith King has 2 lives inherently, and Bat Rider has 2 BKBs. It's really hard. There's BKB on Earth Spirit too. Like, who do you pick? Who's your target in this game anymore?
Crit has a BKB.
It's really tough to choose. Like, I'm just thinking from Force Zoomer's perspective, how do I want to start a fight? With all the information we have as observers, I still can't really pick a good entry that's just going to be clean, you know? It's going to be scrappy no matter what. And you just have to hope that you get some sort of good isolation on maybe Weaver. Like, Weaver's actually your target if you can. But if Jerax has good positioning, that's unlikely to happen.
And we'll see what happens here as the Solar Crest Arteezy, level 24, is going for the Swift Blink, so has the Mjolnir now. And I'm not sure if they even want to bother waiting for Roche. I feel like that's the benefit of having Wraith King. Like, are you, not that you're particularly afraid right now for EG, but if this were more even, like going late game,
crit.
Freak. Oh, looking for the Doom, potentially crit, pops the BKB, gets Doom shortly after, gets the Magnetize off just before though. Can't really end up increasing that any more than it is, as MSS gets the Exorcism on the sideline, right clicks from Arteezy, bring down Z-Freak in his tracks. Boat coming in, but looks like 4 Zoomers kind of playing a little bit passive here, knowing that it's 4v5. Still haven't even gotten through that first life of Arteezy yet.
This fight is... I actually think this is a very good back call. It's tempting to go... Because you've used Ghost Ship, you've used Doom, you might feel like, all right, we have to go for a guy's Hail Mary, but you're fighting into 2 unused lassos and a Wraith King ult. Like, that was never going to end well. If 4 Zoomers go for that, the game ends. So, nice back. It is obviously still not great for them that they lose a hero and use Doom, but the alternative was even worse. So, bit of a silver lining there. Top tower's going to fall for sure. Can't defend that without Doom. They are kind of interested in trying it, looks like. Okay, they're actually going for a surprise play here. I like it, to be honest. If EG are expecting this to be a freebie, it could fail. All right, they're just going to respect them and back off entirely. Yeah. Thought they were going to finish that
what's
tower.
More... Maybe this is a loaded question, but what's more important of an ability this game? Is it the Exorcism or the Doom?
I think I would say overall probably Exorcism still is more important. The Doom can be really helpful, but again, it's just the nature of what options he has.
Oh, tries the TP out, but gets the time-lapse off. It's gonna... I mean, he might still die, but this is gonna create quite a bit of space, potentially. Let's see what they got here. There's the Orchid into the Hoof Stomp. Yeah, down.
Arteezy's getting a lane of Rax in the meantime, almost.
Yep,
Making
those
the most of
Skelly
his space.
boys
All right,
ready
he's
to
committing.
go. Pops his BKB, committing for the... Nope, doesn't go for it all the way. Just TP's out. Couldn't quite get the melee, but relatively close.
Arteezy's reaction was very not suited for broadcast, so we just got a camera icon. Flipped off.
He's flipping off the camera.
Flipped off 4 zoomers there. I'm out. We'll edit it live.
Okay. Who would be the one person to do that, you think, in Dota?
Oh,
Just flip off the camera in the middle of a fight.
puppy.
Is that before or after breaking his monitor?
Flip off the monitor and then go for the kill.
Costa Bile going for the Octarine core. What do you think of this build? I mean, we've seen it before, but in a game like this, just relying on like these, obviously the lower cooldown for Doppelganger and whatnot, but more so the Spirit Lance spam.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I don't know if it packs enough of a punch. I think I would have liked to see Butterfly. I know it might not be the greatest against DP ult, but your PL in this game really needs to carry a lot of weight because Kunkka just hasn't scaled as much as you would like, right? Like Gunner's items are... If he was having a good game, he would have 5k more net worth right now, right? So he's definitely struggling. 3, 7, and 10. PL needs to do an overwhelming majority of damage, so I don't know if Octarine's going to really cut it here. I know it is a damage item, but it can't possibly be as efficient damage per gold as a Butterfly is in a flat-out just fist fight between the two teams, which, being honest, is kind of what the fights have devolved into all the time, right? They're literally just clustering on top of each other, and PL just gets to auto-attack. He's just not hitting hard enough to really get through. So Abyssal, Butter, I think would probably be other alternative choices that would be good here. But it's going to stick to something quote-unquote more standard.
Would you want to go, I mean, maybe not now that you have Octarine, but would this be a consideration game for getting the crit talent at 25 for Costa Bile? Because you usually see the Doppelganger. Oh, he's going to actually Doppelganger to the high ground. Abed, Lincoln's is already procced, has his refresher to work with. Firefly's out, gets time-lapsed by Jerax. That resets everything for him. Again, still has the refresher to work with, and Lincoln's is up again as Arteezy jumps in, focusing on Moo. He'll find him. No buyback for him at all. Crit jumps into the midst of things, though, gets completely blown up. Buys back in the game shortly after those. There, the Ray Fire Blast actually connects on the correct PL. There's the lasso to follow. Do they have the right click damage? Arteezy just getting controlled on the sideline. BKB from Gunner has to run away, though. Looks like 4 Zoomers are just falling here, Cinderin. Exorcism ripping through everybody. Double kill for Arteezy. Buyback onto the Z-Freak, but it's a 2v5. Not sure what they can do with this.
Yeah, they're probably just going to go and shove out top, get Roche again, and then go for the final blow with this Aegis. Do you put the Aegis on Wraith King again, though? Yep, Scepter. Crit, maybe?
All right, let's guess who gets it. Who?
Crit, perhaps? Double saves?
Crits is good, yeah. Death Prophets is really bad this game. Bat Riders is...
Bad Riders is nutty when you have Refresher. I think give it to Bad, actually. Yeah, there you go.
Are you a fan of Wraith King Ags? I love it, actually. But they're not really having trouble living.
It's really good in specific games. It doesn't feel like this one is one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Bat Rider a lot more. If you notice how 4 Zoomers heroes are placed relative to each other in fights, I can almost guarantee you he will find at least 1 double lasso, maybe even 2 with the Refresher. So it just feels like a true game ender to pick that up. The Wraith King one... Oh, hang on. Arteezy is getting hit, but, you know, he even has the Aegis, so it's 3 lives again. Oh, he kind of is losing to the illusions here, at least.
Yeah. He'll have to reset. And we'll see where they go with this. Not sure if he wants to bother going back to base, but wants to find creeps, and the Ancients will do just fine. Of course, doesn't need mana, really, to be able to use that ult, although actually the ult gets used before Aegis, right? That's how it works?
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be a real negative, depending on depending on how much time is left on the Aegis.
Yeah, for sure.
But this game is probably not going to matter. 27k lead for EG.
We are great.
Is Costabile working towards a nullifier? All right, so that's going to get rid of the Yules and Ghost Scepter options for MSS. That'd be very nice for him.
Another refresh, yep.
Yikes.
Lincoln's 2200 already on the way here, so MSS not even that far from his next item if he doesn't want to save for buyback.
And Abed opting for the Flaming Lasso cooldown talent to go along with the Ags and Refresher and Arcane Rune. I don't even want to do the math on how much that affects the cooldown overall, but we'll find out shortly, I'm sure. Are there any 25? I mean, Costabile must be 25 now. Yeah, he is. Does go for the Doppelganger cooldown.
Yeah. All right. Laying into the Wraith King.
Focusing on RTZ. Yeah, RTZ does not have the Mule. Oh, he's going to get time-lapsed again. Just focusing on the buildings. This is going to be super difficult hold for 4 Zoomers. Homing missiles there, though, into the Torrent. This is going to be the reincarnation. Still 2.5 minutes with the Aegis, and he's just going to focus racks. No reason not to.
He's going to focus on trying to waddle away. He's focusing all he can. He's barely
trying.
moving, though.
That's the second life. That's Aegis. 45
That's a good
seconds
roll
left on the reincarnation. Cool. Call down comes down, but there is the destruction of Doom. Gunner getting focused in the meantime. And the boat comes through as well, but Arteezy just continue to right-click. Can they find the right Costabile? Gets stunned up momentarily, but continuing to go ham on Arteezy. He's getting extremely low, but gets time-lapsed again. Trying to right-click his way to safety. Is Costabile still in the midst of things? Buyback now, coming out from the Kunkka. Husky getting focused down in the meantime as this Rax is completely taken down. So Arteezy does fall eventually. Cost a lot to do so. But now, oh, Flame Break. Can they find Costabile? This is such a nuisance with this Doppelganger cooldown. Still living, but the rest of his team basically is dead. It just doesn't feel like they're... I mean, we talked about this already. They have... Like, he can live, but he's just not doing enough damage right now at all. And the time-lapse has come through many times.
And most importantly, the Doom just feels like an almost non-factor, right? They really counterpicked Z-Freak in this game. Still, he's trying to get an Aeon Disc here in his next item slot. He's really susceptible without the armor. So as soon as they get on top of him, he's just getting eliminated immediately, basically. I do like the way 4 Zoomers tried to approach this with a dead Doom. Like, they actually did a really good hold here, in my opinion. Trying to, you know, really set up Costabile for success. Everyone is just using everything they have in the tank. There's a nice lasso like you're seeing there. The double. But because Arteezy is stranded against PL, he can't really connect and deal the damage, and ultimately that does allow them to kill him off and hold the final lane of their base. It's a small consolation prize, but it's something. PL now with the Nullifier. That is not a part of the replay, by the way, that's in live. Has completed that and sold his treads, and is playing with a flicker for the move speed. So, of course, a secondary way to remove like Sticky Napalm or Silence from DP, Earth Spirit. Very good items to have here.
Yep, it's a good pickup for sure.
And to pierce through the Ghost Scepter, right? So now he's gonna go hard for the DP. I think that's the goal here. It's a change of plan. I like it. I wonder what you do next. Like, do you actually get butter at all now? And if you do, what do you replace? Do you replace Diffusal because you have Nullifier? You probably do, right? Swap Diffusal for the Butterfly and then go for a DP kill. I think so.
Can I ask you a question about this 25 talent on?
No.
On PL? I'm going to anyway. I don't know why I asked permission. Oh, thank God we have a pause. Why does nobody go for the crit? Like, I understand that Doppelganger one is really good. I get that.
Yeah.
But the times that I have seen, which is a small percentage, but the times I have seen the crit, it's extremely good on PL. I feel like it's super underrated.
Well, if you're going Octarine, the Doppelganger one, relatively speaking, is better than the other one, right? Because you benefit more from the cooldown reduction. The crit, it's... Okay, so let's just compare both of them on paper, right? Let's look at Doppelganger right now. So it's 4.5 second cooldown because of Octarine. Without it, it's probably like 6, right? So it's about 10 without the talent. Meaning, because he has Octarine and Doppelganger talent, he has twice, or half the cooldown, essentially, or a little bit less. It gives him a lot more freedom in fights to play aggressively because he knows he has the reset button that more often. He gets more illusions. the crit damage, or the crit talent is easily way more damage per second. But if you're worried about getting locked down or controlled in any sense, then that can quickly become dead damage, right? So in games where you're uncountered, let's say it's just a PL game where there's very little that's going to silence, trip you up, stun you, disarm you, whatever it is, I think the crit talent can often be better, actually, and a lot of people just take the other one by default.
Can I give you a little option here? That
in this game, I think the Doppelganger talent is better because of his matchup.
You have to hold that thought. Arteezy getting focused by Costabile. He's all alone, but look at all these illusions. Forces out the BKB. You can see the rest of 4 Zoomers just biding their time.
All right.
The BKB has gone away. Oh, there's the time lapse.
That's
back
not
to
a very
safety.
good one,
He's
is
gonna
it?
blink out.
Oh, he actually...
He does blink out. All right.
All right.
Gets the ban.
If he didn't make it there, that time lapse could have been really rough for him, but just narrowly finds a way out.
Yeah.
That was very close. That could have been the start of a really bad fight, actually, for EG.
Yeah, 4 Zoomers going to reset. Okay, I'm going to give you my theory craft here. I actually feel very strongly this is a good build in this game. Instead of Octarine, you go Ags, and you get the other talent for 25. Because then you basically have essentially like all your illusions come out again with your... Because you can activate your ult.
Yeah, I could have seen that.
I think that's a cool build.
Arteezy. Oof. All right. Well, someone's going to get jumped.
Yep, focusing him again. Uses the Mjolnir. Gets off the stun on the correct guy. And there is the lasso to follow. But is there damage to actually take him out? He's extremely low. The save potential from the IO. Looks like PL's going to live for now. Still stuck in the midst of things. They cannot find the real one anymore. There's so many illusions to work with. That's a second lasso. He is so tanky. Where's the damage coming from, though? He finally gets taken 100 seconds on the deck, buys back into the game. Husky not able to get out, though, and Gunnar will fall as well. 4 Zoomers dropping like flies, but there's a nullifier on the MSS, but no follow-up whatsoever. And it turns into a 3v5 as EG can look to close out this series. And the jump in from Arteezy gets off the bash, still has Abyssal Blade in a few seconds. There's the Doom. It's going to be applied to crit, and it looks like Z-Freak is going to pay the ultimate price potentially as MSS with the Wraithfire Blast in tow, able to take him out as well. Nullifier again onto MSS. He's taking quite a bit of damage now, but Costabile has to go back to base as he is a lone member of 4 Zoomers, 1v5. Oh, crit.
Oh, good Yules.
Looking for some stylish plays here.
Good Lincoln again.
Crit is not dying. He refuses to die. Gets the blink off. Costabile stun lock completely. GG's come out. And EG take the series 2-0. EG are undefeated.